Hi, I'm Mike, founder of GoodBed.com. Today we're going to be showing you the Helix Nightfall mattress, and we're particularly excited to be reviewing this mattress for two reasons. Number one, this is a mattress that is designed specifically for heavier folks or folks with higher body mass index. And number two, this is the first Helix mattress that we have reviewed since they underwent a pretty significant redesign to both the mattresses they offer as well as how they present their products, which happened in the second half of 2018. So we're looking forward to showing it to you. Stick around. So one of the first things people want to know about a mattress is just how soft it is. And in the case of the Helix Nightfall, we would classify this as a medium firm on our spectrum, which means just to the firmer side of medium. Now, I should note that this is more softness than I would have expected from a mattress that is made specifically for heavier people. And the reason I say that is that in general, the heavier you are, the softer a mattress will feel, short of any kind of bottoming out effect that you might encounter on a mattress. So to a heavier person, let's say someone who's over 250 pounds, this might feel softer than what I'm describing. Bear that in mind. But one of the benefits of it being a medium firm as opposed to something that might feel like a firm or ultra firm to me is that if you have a partner, for example, who's significantly lighter than you, this is not going to feel necessarily like a slab of granite to them. So there's an opportunity for two people who maybe have different needs to find middle ground on this mattress. So now let's get into the details of what's actually in a Helix Nightfall mattress. And as you can see here, you're looking at a total 12-inch mattress. And essentially you can think of it as having about 5 total layers. 3 layers of foam on top, starting with the Helix Dynamic Response foam in a 3.75 pound density. Now this is basically what they call their latex alternative foam. It's certainly got a quick responsiveness just like latex. It's something that I could see resembling latex in its characteristics. And then below that you have 1 inch of what they only call it memory foam, but it sure looks like gel memory foam from where I'm sitting. In any case, it's a 4-pound density foam that clearly has that kind of slow responsiveness memory foam is known for. And then below that you have another 1-inch layer, which is a transition layer. So it is a little bit firmer to kind of help ease that transition between these top 2 layers, and which are both pretty soft. Particularly the memory foam, I think, is probably the softest. And then you're easing that transition between these 2 layers, and then of course these coils below, which are much firmer. Now in terms of the coils, you're looking at 8-inch tall coils, and the ones you're seeing here are actually, these are kind of skinny coils. They're actually just for edge support. So you have 2 rows of these skinny coils essentially going all the way around the perimeter of the mattress to give it a stronger edge. You can see they have a bunch of working turns here, and that combination of having more coils due to the skinniness and a lot of working turns gives them a lot of strength, and that's what gives this mattress a nice strong edge that we'll show you later. Inside of these coils, you're going to have the majority of the coils in the mattress are going to be a little wider, still quite sturdy and firm, but just a little wider so that there's not as many coils, per square foot, let's say. And then on the very bottom, you have another 1-inch layer of foam that just basically gives the coils kind of a surface to rest on. So there you have it. That's 4 1-inch layers of foam, essentially, 3 on top, 1 on bottom, with an 8-inch layer of coils forming the support core of the mattress. And then of course all of that is wrapped in, you could kind of think of it as 2 covers. This cover here that we had to cut into to show this to you is sort of a stretchy but breathable cover here that you could see has some kind of a fiber fill to it, which may be performing some sort of fire retardancy type role. I'm not totally sure, but at a minimum it's got about a 1/8 inch of quilt to it or something like that. And then zipped onto the top of that you have this cover, like the main cover, which has this kind of interesting and very unique feel to it. It's like a ribbed t-shirt, but thicker. And it's definitely got some stretch to it, and a nice sturdiness to it as well. This, by the way, this cover is machine washable. You can take it out, unzip it entirely, throw it in the washing machine to clean it any time. And in fact, you can also replace this cover, should you choose, with what they call an ultra cool cover, and we're going to show you that later in the video, but that's a cover that has phase change material to help with temperature regulation, which is also machine washable, although in that case you're going to want to limit the number of washes that you give it in order to preserve that phase change material. So yeah, that's the kind of overall construction. And then I think it's just worth, while we're talking about it, comparing this to the construction of the other Helix models, the ones that are not kind of geared towards heavier folks. Those ones are, the main difference is that while this is 12 inches, those are all 10-inch mattresses. They tend to have about 2 layers of foam on top, and then a little bit shorter coils than what you see in this mattress. Those are kind of the key differences. So now let's get into the two things that absolutely everyone has to get from their mattress, which are back support and pressure relief. And just for context, I'm about 6 feet tall, not quite 200 pounds. Now, if Christian Bale were doing this review, he probably would have gained 50 to 100 pounds for this review. But unfortunately, I didn't do that. So I'm gonna have to kind of just guesstimate what I think the experience would be for kind of the target person for this mattress. But I can also speak, again, I think it's important to speak to what my experience is, because a lot of times you're going to have a spouse who's going to share the mattress with you, and they may not be the same weight as you. So it's worth thinking about it from multiple perspectives. I'll start out on my back, which is the position that I predominantly sleep in. And what I can tell you is that this is a great fit for me on my back. I'm very well supported here. My spine's well aligned. I mentioned that there is a little bit of softness at the top of this mattress, so my hips can get in just enough, but I'm definitely getting solid support here in my lumbar area as well. And there's no kind of hammocking effect, as you would of course expect, since it's designed for people much heavier than me. But as I go over to my side, this is what I was most surprised about, was that not only are my shoulders allowed to get into the mattress more than I would have expected, still not nearly as much as on some mattresses, but again, at my weight, more than I would have expected. But I'm also getting better pressure relief than I would have expected. I thought for sure this was going to feel really firm to me when I'm on my side, which is the position where your weight is distributed over the smallest surface area, so you're most likely to encounter pressure points. But I have not encountered that on this mattress, so that gives me hope that even people perhaps lighter than me might be able to sleep comfortably on their sides on this mattress without encountering pressure points. And I certainly would be inclined to believe, since I'm not sensing any amount of like bottoming out at all, that I definitely think someone heavier than me could continue sinking into this mattress and getting good pressure relief on it as well. So I feel pretty optimistic about heavier side sleepers as well as heavier back sleepers, but I also feel surprisingly optimistic that even someone, say 50 pounds lighter than me, might be fine on their side on this from a pressure relief standpoint, albeit not quite as good as maybe, it wouldn't necessarily be their best alternative from a pressure relief standpoint, but could be acceptable. Now from a stomach standpoint, this is the position where you generally want the most firmness, the least softness, because you do not want your back to overarch. And I would say I don't sense any overarching on this mattress, so I think I could certainly sleep on my stomach on this mattress. Now, if you are truly a heavier person, 250 pounds and up, let's say, and particularly if you're 300 pounds and up, and you are a stomach sleeper, you might want to think about even a firmer mattress than this, even though this is designed with heavier people in mind. I still think that there might be a little too much softness for that person if they are a stomach sleeper. But for me, fine, and anyone lighter than me, also fine. So now we're going to talk about what we call responsiveness, which is the difference between sort of that slow responding memory feel or more of a quick responding bounce. And in the case of this Helix Nightfall, we're certainly coming more towards that latter side of the spectrum. I'm going to just show you a quick test of memory feel because there is 1 inch of memory foam in this mattress, and you can kind of see it. You know, if you just are looking really closely, you see there's a little delay. Just again, it's about 1 inch. So everything else that I'm pressing in responds immediately back into place. But that 1 inch of memory foam, which is actually 1 inch down into the mattress, you know, that takes a few seconds to come back to full height. So that's the only degree to which there's any memory feel. And I'll tell you, when you're laying on the mattress, you're not getting a whole lot of that. There's no ooey gooey type of memory feel to speak of that you can really actively perceive. And then in terms of bounce, we usually think of bounce at a few different levels of the mattress. We start by just kind of dropping our hands, our fingertips into the mattress to test sort of the surface bounce. And I would say there is a little bit of surface bounce here. You know, you have that Helix, that dynamic response latex-like foam at the top. The layer, the transition layer underneath the memory foam, those both have a little bit of bounciness to them. The memory foam cancels that out a bit, but a little bit of surface bounce. Then you've got, we'll test sort of mid-level bounce, as we call it, with this 16-pound bowling ball, and you see at that point you're definitely going through the foam and accessing those coils, which certainly have a lot of bounce. So that's a decent amount of mid-level bounce. And now we'll test what we call deep bounce, where I put my whole 200 pounds down. And you can see, definitely has some deep bounce, definitely springs me back up when I jump down on it. So overall, as I said in the beginning, we would characterize this mattress as being much more toward the quick response side of the responsiveness spectrum. The next characteristic that you're going to want to consider when choosing a mattress is cushioning depth, which is a preference-based characteristic, and it's the difference between sleeping more in the mattress or being hugged or cradled by it versus sleeping more on the mattress. And in the case of the Helix Nightfall, we would definitely describe this as more of the latter. This is definitely not the kind of mattress that is going to give you that sort of enveloped feel. Rather, it's going to be one that gives you more of that floating on top of the mattress kind of feel. You can see here that this is a relatively shallow angle as I lay on the mattress. It's not conforming super closely to my body in this position like some mattresses do. And you can see that as well with this bowling ball. It just, the bowling ball kind of rolls on top of it more. I mean, all bowling balls are gonna, or a bowling ball is gonna sink into any mattress to a degree, but this is definitely one of the ones that we would describe as having shallower than average cushioning depth. So now we're going to get into what we call priority-based characteristics, which are things that can be better or worse about a mattress that may or may not be a priority for you personally. And the first of these is motion isolation, which is the degree to which the person on, say, that side of the mattress is going to feel or be disturbed by what's happening over on this side. And to test this, we're going to start by dropping this 16-pound bowling ball and seeing what happens to that bowling pin over there. And as you can see, the bowling pin moves a little bit, but not much. And keep in mind that some amount of motion is attributable to the base that we have this on. We're not doing it on the floor. But to put it to a higher test, I'm gonna actually drop 200 pounds down on the mattress and see what that does. And you can see that the bowling pin is able to withstand that. I can just try it like different amounts of kind of force that I'm jumping down with. But overall, this is a mattress that has very good motion isolation. It's not surprising in particular because it is made with pocketed coils which move up and down independently of one another, so you wouldn't expect a whole lot of motion disturbance to travel across the mattress. So we'd say this has very good motion isolation. Another consideration for some people is the ease of repositioning on a mattress. So we wanted to just show you that in this case, this is not going to be something we expect to be a problem really for anyone. It's a super easy mattress to move around on. The only thing I do want to point out about the mattress in this area is that there is a little bit of like a crinkling sound that you might notice with this mattress when you move around on it. It's not significant. In fact, I had to kind of like bring in another person really close to the mattress so that they could hear what I was talking about. But if you're on the mattress and you move around, you may notice it. I doubt it's going to be something that really gives you a lot of concern, but thought we would at least just mention it. Another important criteria for some people is edge support, so we always make sure to cover this in our reviews. And in the case of the Helix Nightfall, this is definitely a strength of this mattress. As you can see here, sitting on the edge, right now my heels are about a ½ inch off the ground, so I have the full weight of my lower legs hanging off the bed, and even still the dip here is less than we see with a lot of mattresses. And the reason for that is that this mattress is made with some extra strong coils going around the perimeter of the mattress to give it that strong edge. And you can particularly see the strength in this area when I lay on the edge of the mattress, or lie on the edge of the mattress, as would be more grammatically correct. And I'm always careful to get my shoulder blade right on the edge here for consistency. And what you can see is that I can lie very comfortably here with really no fear or sensation that I might roll off. So we would certainly say that edge support on this mattress is excellent. One important factor for some people when choosing a mattress is temperature, or the likelihood of overheating during the night. And this can be a particular concern for folks who are on the heavier side or have a higher BMI. And in the case of the Helix Nightfall, what we can say for starters is that this is a mattress that does benefit from a lot of airflow. We talked about the fact that there are a few inches of foam on the top of the mattress, but apart from those few inches, the rest of the mattress really can have air flowing edge to edge all the way across it. Even the edge support is provided by coils, through which air can easily flow. So that is going to help a lot in terms of allowing heat to dissipate and escape the mattress. So that also is an improvement, by the way, over previous generations of Helix products, which did not have as much airflow. That said, for those folks for whom heat is a particular concern, and you really want to kind of minimize any chance of overheating, Helix also offers what they call an ultra cool cover. And we have one of those here, and we can show you exactly how you put it on, but it's super easy. All we have to do is zip off this top standard cover and replace it with this ultra cool cover, which costs $125 in queen size as an add-on. So in terms of the effectiveness of this ultra cool cover, unfortunately from a personal standpoint, I don't have a whole lot to offer because I don't have a tendency to sleep hot. So for example, I didn't sleep hot even with the traditional cover on this mattress. However, I can tell you a couple things about this. Number one, a lot of the covers that we show you that are designed to have a cooling feature have a coolness to the touch. This is not one of those covers. It's not designed to have that coolness to the touch feature. However, it does use phase change material, which is something that we've talked about in some of our other reviews. And the way phase change material works is it does help pull heat away from your body during the night and kind of thereby keeps you more temperature neutral. So while I can't necessarily vouch for it from my own personal standpoint, I do believe that for someone who has a tendency to sleep hot or a particular concern about that this should be helpful. Another important criteria for some people is the degree of natural materials in the mattress, or maybe more so just the lack of harmful chemicals. And in the case of the Helix Nightfall, this is not a natural mattress, not one that is made with natural materials per se. However, in terms of the lack of harmful chemicals, there are a couple things that we can say. The first is that all the foams in this mattress are certified to the CertiPure standard, which is a standard that looks for the presence of and or off-gassing of various harmful materials and certifies that none are present beyond some minimally acceptable threshold. The second thing we can add to that is that according to Helix's website, this entire mattress is certified to the OEKO-TEX standard. In fact, all of their mattresses are certified to the OEKO-TEX standard, which in the case of a finished product like this means that they've looked at all the components and certified that none contain any of the known legal or illegal harmful substances for which they monitor. So I do think that if this is an area of concern for you, those are a couple of nice things from which you can take some reassurance. One thing we get asked about more and more these days is adjustable base compatibility. And when we look at adjustable base compatibility, we think about three things. The first is it going to damage the mattress in any way to use it on an adjustable base? And in this case, the answer is no. It's a mattress that is designed to be compatible. The support unit here that uses pocketed coils, those are designed to be able to bend and flex on an adjustable base. So you're okay using it in this way. The second thing is, how well does it conform to the curves of an adjustable base? So we usually put it up into this fully elevated position to really put it to the test in that regard. And as you can see, it does quite well. In fact, a lot of mattresses will, when you first start using them on an adjustable base, they'll have a little bit of a hard time at the foot of the bed, keeping that last bend there, or they won't quite be able to make this very tight bend that we've put it into. This one does well. It even does pretty well on this side where we don't have anyone sitting. That being said, when I get off this mattress, it does want to pop up. So that is something, to be honest, I don't know to what degree that's going to change over time, but I would have to expect that it's something that will get less and less as you use the mattress on an adjustable base, just kind of a break-in type of thing. But we just want to kind of give you a heads up that that's something to expect the first few times you use it on an adjustable base at least. Then the third thing we look at is, does anything weird happen when you put it on an adjustable base? Sometimes you have bowing of foam perimeters. In this case, there is no foam perimeter. The coils that form the edge support, they flex really nicely with no bowing here. Sometimes you have a bunch of clumping of fabric here that makes it a little uncomfortable to sit on if you have a very thick quilted cover. That's not a concern here. So overall, I would say, apart from the fact that sometimes this thing will pop up, that again I think will decrease over time, I don't see anything weird happening here. So overall, we would say that this is a mattress that is very adjustable base compatible. Okay, so as part of our review of the Helix Nightfall mattress, we wanted to just give you a sense of what to expect when the mattress arrives. And this is definitely one that is a little bit heavier, a little bit harder to maneuver than some. The box weighs over 100 pounds. It is a pretty typical size, not quite 4 feet tall, maybe 1.5-ish in each direction, maybe even a little less. But you know, it's going to be definitely a two-person job to move this box anywhere. There aren't any handles or anything like that for one person to even grab onto, so plan on having 2 people. But with that said, let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, so this here is a Helix mattress little booklet, just some information about the mattresses that they offer. Okay, so there you have it, the Helix Nightfall mattress, fully unboxed. That didn't take more than a couple minutes, 2-3 minutes maybe. And you can see here that it's already getting quickly expanded to its full height. We'll of course give it some time to make sure it's fully expanded before we do our review on it. But in terms of the kind of initial off-gassing experience, I would say barely getting anything from this distance in terms of that new mattress smell. If I get down close to the mattress, I definitely get, you know, that distinct new mattress smell coming from the foam. But it's nothing that kind of concerns me. I'm not particularly sensitive to that sort of thing. If you've watched our reviews before, you know that. But overall, I would say this is probably less of that new mattress smell than the average mattress that we unbox overall. 3 things that are going to be important anytime you're buying a mattress online are delivery, return policy, and warranty. And in terms of delivery, any Helix mattress is going to come with free delivery in a box to your doorstep. In terms of return policy, you're going to have 100 nights to try this mattress in your home. during which time you can return it for whatever reason for a full refund if it doesn't work out for you. In fact, they'll even come to your house and pick it up from you in that situation. The only thing that they do ask is that you try the mattress for at least 30 nights just to make sure you've given your body adequate time to adjust to the new mattress. Lastly, in terms of warranty, the Helix mattress, the Nightfall, comes with a 10-year warranty, and they define an allowable dip as 1 inch. And that's a really important term to look for when you think about a mattress warranty. And as it relates to other innerspring mattresses, 1 inch is actually a better than most standard to have in their warranty. And I think that that's particularly noteworthy because this is a mattress that is specifically being marketed to heavier people. So the fact that they're willing to include a warranty term that is better than most in this area, I think speaks to their willingness to really stand behind this product. So I think it's something you can take some additional comfort in. One thing that's important to just about every mattress shopper is value. And when we think about value, we always think about how much does it cost, what's in it, and how long do we think it's going to last. In terms of the cost, the current price of the Helix Nightfall is $1,190 in a queen size. And that would be before any GoodBed discounts would be applied. Now, in terms of what you're getting for that, you're talking about a 12-inch mattress in total with really like 3 inches of what we'd consider to be maybe premium comfort materials on the top, and then a pocketed coil support unit underneath with really strong reinforced edges featuring stronger coils going around that perimeter. In terms of how long it's going to last, we would generally look to things like foam densities for our best, albeit imperfect, predictor of longevity. And in this case, you'd look at those top 3 layers, and certainly I don't see a clear weak link in any of those top 3 layers. First of all, there are only 3 inches in total. That top layer of Helix dynamic response foam and a 3.75 pound density doesn't give me any concern at all. Then you have the 4 pound density memory foam, which is solid. Then you have a transition layer. Again, it's only 1 inch, but it seems to be a solid material. And below that, you have a very sturdy pocketed coil unit. So I don't see overall any clear weak links in this mattress that give me concern from a durability standpoint. And I take additional comfort in the fact that, as we mentioned earlier, they, in their warranty, define an allowable body impression as 1 inch deep, which relative to the standard, the industry standard for other innerspring mattresses, is a better standard. You know, it's a less dip than is allowed under the typical innerspring mattress warranty, which would be maybe 1.5 inches. So given the fact, again, that they're marketing this specifically to heavier people and that they're willing to maintain a warranty that has a lower allowable dip than is industry standard for this type of mattress, that really gives me added confidence that they've put the extra thought as well as extra dollars into the componentry here to make this a mattress that will last. Now, in terms of the overall value and what that adds up to, I would say that we typically compare this to what else you can get online as well as what you can get in local stores. And I'd say that certainly relative to what you can get in your local stores, I think this is an excellent value. And I'd say that even relative to a lot of the options that you can buy online, this is also a very good value. And in particular, if you are in the sort of target demographic of being a heavier sleeper, then it is no question an excellent value because it is going to be suited for you in a way that very few other options will be. So just to sum up some of the things we've covered in this video, the Helix Nightfall is a mattress that is specifically designed for and marketed to heavier people. We talked about how it's a 12-inch mattress with what we might characterize as kind of a combination of latex and memory foam, or latex-like material and memory foam over pocketed coil construction. We mentioned that in our assessment, we felt like this would be a great fit for those heavier folks who are significantly heavier than me, let's say, who are either back sleepers or side sleepers. We felt like those folks would be well served from both a spinal alignment and pressure relief standpoint. We did have a small concern about heavier people who are stomach sleepers, that there might be a little too much give in this that could allow some overarching in the back in the stomach position. Then we also thought that folks even my weight would be pretty well served in really any of the positions, back, side, or stomach. And we felt similarly for people lighter than me, although we did have a concern that someone who's significantly lighter than me and a side sleeper might find that there's just not quite enough give to either get proper spinal alignment or adequate pressure relief. We did talk about how if you're looking for a mattress with a lot of that slow melting memory feel, you're not going to find that on this mattress, nor are you going to get a mattress that's going to give you a lot of hugged or cradled sensation in general with the Helix Nightfall. However, if you are looking for a mattress that has kind of a medium firm level of softness, has more of that floating on top sort of feel to it, has excellent edge support and also very good motion isolation, and is a particularly good fit and uniquely good fit for heavier folks. And if all of the other criteria and considerations that we covered in this video sound like a good match for you, then we definitely think that the Helix Nightfall is one that you should consider. So we hope you found this video helpful in determining whether the Helix Nightfall is the right mattress for you. But if you're still not sure, we'd really recommend you go to GoodBed.com and take our mattress match quiz, which you can find either on our homepage or right up in the header of any page of our website. This quiz will walk you through all of the same criteria and considerations that we covered in this video, and ultimately will show you mattresses that best match your personal needs and preferences, both online as well as in the local stores in your area. So we really think that's a helpful tool that you ought to take advantage of. In the meantime though, we thank you for watching and we really hope you sleep well.